Passionate Diaries. I'm Marissa. I'm a creative woman who has 301 ideas of creative projects, businesses, hobbies, habits, and I want to do it all. A love for creating things, and I'm on a mission to make a living being creative in my day-to-day life. Now, your creative life is not going to build itself, so let's get to it. So this is a day in the life as a multi-passionate creative. I am somebody who likes having multiple things on the go, but before we get into that, I want to talk about what is a creative life. Now, some people might automatically say that it's waking up every single day and working on your art, having a studio, painting, sculpting, writing, just being able to only work on your craft, which obviously that is very much a creative life, but I think there is another element to living a creative life that we sometimes forget, and that is balance. We live in a society where you have to do non-creative things. In fact, most of us don't do creative things or do enough creative things to find that joy and playfulness that actually makes you happy. So living a creative life for me is working on my art, working on my craft, I'll get into what that is, and then also prioritizing joy and being as playful as possible in your day-to-day life. Like, think back to when we were kids and you could just exist. Life didn't get to you yet. And so go buy a coloring book and some crayons. Pick up the guitar that you bought on a whim one day. Start writing music, start writing poetry. You can pursue your art. Now, my brand of creativity is words. I am personally working on my debut novel. I've been working on it for a handful of years now. I've really only taken it seriously for the last 3 years. It is a young adult fantasy novel. I want you to think witches who control the elements, earth, fire, water, and air, demons, dragons, castles, fun, flirtatious banter, betrayal. Yeah. It's a good time, if I do say so myself. And then recently I started a blog, another form of words, different kind of words, but also so much fun. I love writing. And so this has just been a completely new avenue. I only started it in June, so very new, but we're having fun with it. And then also during my 75 medium challenge that I completed, I had to do a creative session every single day for the 75 days. And one of them was to do poetry and write poetry. And that kind of sparked a whole new just can of worms. And I have thoroughly been enjoying creativity. In fact, it's just kind of made me fall in love with words even more. And we're excited to see where that goes. And then lastly, and not to do with writing, but to do with my creative life and kind of where I visualize it going, is that I wanted to start a sticker business. And so I've slowly accumulated the machine. So I have a Cricut, I have like a label maker, I have a printer. Although the printer I picked was not the right printer, I kind of like added that to cart a little too quickly before I did my research. So I do need to get a different one, but I'm in the trial phase. I'm just figuring out like paper, laminate, sizing, all of that stuff, and then also working on like my doodles and my art in Procreate as well. So that one's just kind of like a learning, we're building it. It's just going to be a slow process. And then my goal with this video, and however more multi-passionate diaries that I do that kind of follow my day, is that I want you to pursue your art. I want you to feel inspired or interested or just have that spark of possibility of like, oh, I can do something creative today. I want you to prioritize joy. I want you to pursue your art. I want you to do something that is fun and playful. It could be as simple as just dancing in your living room or going getting a pen and paper and just doodling. Now, your creative life is not going to build itself, so let's get to it. Habits for every single day. I have implemented these habits so that I can live a creative life. So I read 10 pages, I write in my journal every single day, at least one page, if not more. And then I have to do 30 minutes of working on my businesses, which is my blog, and then kind of planning for my sticker business, and then content creation that I'm doing for this channel. And then I have a 30-minute writing session where I focus on just writing. And that is every single day. So far, currently I am on day 30, which is wild. And I've done that, and I've made so much progress with my business and my crafts. And then on top of that, because I do believe that living a creative lifestyle, you want to integrate wellness and health, because your body, your mind is just as important in order to be able to show up in your creative life. So I do a 30-minute workout every single day, and I hit 7,000 steps. And then I'm also in a calorie deficit to prioritize my health. If you are somebody that struggles with planning, I do have a blog about how to set daily habits, especially as a creative person. And there are 5 steps in there. Most people will only do the first 3, and then it's step 4 and 5 that you will need to work on. I'll link it down below and you can check that one out, because it really puts into perspective how we kind of are our own worst enemy, where we will just sit and dream. Right? That creative life you want, that goal you want to achieve, you're going to sit in that vision board, that excitement of planning, without actually taking tangible action. I might film a video on this one. Okay, that is everything that I have for you in this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit like. You can smash the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos, and I will see you in the next one.